aid package, which took some time to come. President Emeritus Corporate Council on Africa, Stephen Hayes, joins us now from Washington, D.C. Good to have you join us.
Good to be with you again.
Now, the bill passed the Senate on an overwhelming 79 to 18 vote. I just want to break it down. We had 15 Republicans, voting with 3 Democrats against the bill, and then 48 Democrats and 31 Republicans voted for the bill. The idea that 3 Democrats even voted against the bill was quite surprising. Speak more on this.
Well, I think that one of the Democrats, Bernie Sanders, was feeling very strongly that the money needed to be spent at home on issues such as education, infrastructure, and so forth. And unless we were able to address that first, we had no business supporting international issues such as Ukraine. I think that was his thinking, and the other 2 Democrats as well.
Let me take a comment by Senator Republican Mitch McConnell, where he said that, look, American prosperity and security are the products of decades of American leadership. This aid that has not passed, what does it mean for the U.S. leadership of the West?
Well, I think that the world is changing. I think that Mitch McConnell is still holding on to an America of the past. I think he's right in some ways. It does allow the U.S. to move back into a more central role internationally, and we can debate, the strength of that role. But it does move the United States back in. At the same time, the world is becoming much more multipolar, and therefore I think the world's changing. I think we're going to have to adjust to it as it's not just simply the United States, or not simply the United States or China or Russia, but a lot of other voices are coming to the table now. And I think that is also reflected domestically and why there was such a difficult time getting this vote.
And in Europe, where that's the EU, especially where they're finding difficulty, there is a struggle and scramble to find ways to help Ukraine, with some countries not even willing to help at all. Do you think that this would also help galvanize the response in the EU?
Absolutely. I think the UK stepped forward immediately after it was evident that this was going to pass. I think it's renewed confidence to some degree in the United States in terms of supporting Ukraine, and it makes it easier for others to support. I'm sure some of the thinking was, if the U.S., the biggest supporter of Ukraine, is not going to step up, what good is our money in stepping up and our support? So yes, I think it will galvanize quite a few of them. There will be a few outliers like Slovakia and others, but by and large, it does unite, at least temporarily. It unites the Europe and U.S. interests once again.
I was going through comments by some Americans to the passage of this bill, and for some of them, this money should be spent, in America, should be invested in America. But I also listened to an interview by the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, where he said that, look, if Congress had not passed this aid, America would have paid a price economically, politically, and militarily. I want to also speak more on that, the consequences of America not helping its allies.
Okay. Yes, the consequences. I'm sorry, I had an interruption over here. The consequences are that it's going to help bring the country back together more. Mitch McConnell was right in some ways that it does speak well, but also it does bring the country back together quite a bit.
And the other big question, a lot of people are asking is, how long will this funding last? Ukraine will definitely or will likely come back for more. And so what would be the response, what do you think would be the response of Congress at the time?
I think it's going to be very difficult for another request. I think the people, this has spent the energy of quite a few people, and I don't expect anything to come back until after the election, until they see what happens with the U.S. president elections.
All right. So I also wanted to ask you about the votes, which people are saying look a politically risky or a politically risky move by Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson to get Ukraine's aid package through. Considering what happened to Kevin McCarthy, would there likely be an eternal political fallout for Johnson and other senators, Republican senators who also joined the Democrats to vote for this bill?
I'm glad you asked that. And I think there needs to be a lot of praise to the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Without him, this bill would not have been possible. He showed courage, and I think he has the support of many. So thank you.
We'll take a break now, and then when we'll come back, I'm just putting you on hold. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more, especially on the aid package to Israel. Do stay with us, everyone.
All right, thank you.